Hello everyone. So Joe Biden walks to the podium in Warm Springs, Georgia. We think it's kind of funny because it shows what kind of life we're going to have should the Democrats win the presidential office. Everybody can live in their tiny little ring. If you get out of it, we'll probably kick you out. And you're lucky you have this because it could be the alternative. The alternative could be lockdowns. We could just go ahead and lock you down. This COVID thing was already been sought after as a means to get communism to hum. We've got elite people all over the globe that are literally pandering to each other about how COVID is a useful political tool to use on people to get their policies established. And I hope everyone's really noticing this. Your luck is that you get to sit in your little circle with your little mask on and sit there like a good boy. Your alternative is more lockdowns at home. So which is better, being out and about with at least your mask on and in your little bubble? We hear there's concerts going on now where people are literally in bubbles themselves. They are the living embodiment of Bubble Boy. It's hard to believe that grown adults are acting like this over a 0.8 death rate. It's not even scary enough to worry about that much. But they're going to do that anyway and hyperventilate over the situation. We think here at Dang It Don that really the fighting of such a problem is worse than the actual problem. See this video and see for yourself. This is what they want your life to be like. Everybody can be separated away from each other, and you know that's one of the methods that they used to do with segregation. And it's ironic that it's happening now that Joe Biden, of all people who supported segregation, he supported people being split up into their own little groups, and history has repeated itself. All of you, no matter what color you are, go ahead and separate. Stay away from each other. Even the family unit is supposed to stay away from each other. I think that might actually be an improvement upon their base idea of keeping the races separated, because now you're keeping everyone separated. And we can go down a list of horrible people that wanted segregation. Not just Joe Biden. Hitler wanted segregation. Stalin wanted segregation. These horrible people wanted people to be divided in their own groups. It's one of the reasons why you had gulags. It's one of the reasons why you had concentration camps. To weed out the unwanted. And when you separate everybody out like that, it's hard for communications. It's hard to actually know who you're talking to. And we were talking to somebody the other day. It must be horrible, downright horrible to try to date in these times. If you wanted to try to meet somebody and date them, how do you even know if they're attractive enough to begin with, besides looking at their body? It's all a means of separation. And ironically enough, during Joe Biden's run for presidency, we're seeing that same type of segregation. We might as well just call this separation. This crowd was a very wimpy, small crowd. And I'd like to say, that must be the cover. We just say we worry about the COVID. That's why you didn't have that many people there. But there was hundreds, if not thousands, outside the hills, the foothills around there, where they wanted to get in and watch, right? This isn't even true. The Biden camp can't even get the following Trump has. We're going to probably find out later that his measly crowd are just campaign workers. There's hardly anybody out there. There's no one clamoring to vote Joe Biden. It's one of the reasons why the Democrats like to sway this view of Trump having a cult. And while it is true there's plenty of people that follow the man, it's not a cult. And I would say anybody who follows Joe Biden is probably not a cultist either. However, Trump has major league support. People do believe in a lot of the things that he's saying. And honestly, we can't disagree with very much. You're talking about border security before we ever had a pandemic. Kind of preemptively smart if you ask us. He was the one that wanted to shut down borders a long time before COVID ever became an issue. There are a lot of things out there that are dangerous and deadly around the world, and leaving an open border is a dangerous thing. Traffickers, diseases for fruits and vegetables, plants that aren't native for the region can come in and destroy other plants that are native of the region. There's reasons why they ask at the border, do you have any fruits or vegetables to declare? All of these laws and all of these things that they put in books are for actual reasons. And the Democrats over the past 20 years have done everything to usurp those laws. These laws have been in the record books for years, and all they want to do is tear them down in the midst of a pandemic. They want open borders. Trump's for closed borders. They want to be able to play on the world stage as globalist elites, and Trump is trying to speak America first for the average American people. Joe Biden can't even sing that tune. He was busy trying to get his son Burisma deals and keeping half the money. He was busy trying to keep his family's pockets full while he was VP. Those things were a little bit more important than actually helping run the country with Obama. But we know Obama was actually in it because he actually petitioned to go vote early. And we know why all the Democrats went out and clamored for everyone to go out and vote early. It wasn't for extra votes on top of it all. It's because they knew all of the corruption that Joe Biden had was going to get out to the media sooner or later. You vote early, and then you regret your votes. We did a video on that just last video. We counted a whole 16 people at this rally. Biden does not have the support. There are not people waiting in line trying to see him. Even if it weren't for their COVID policies, which only covers for his small turnouts. It's a way for him to doctor up the idea that he actually has supporters that want to see him, but they're trying to abide by the rules. We say that no one really wants to see him and it's not that important to them. You're probably going to have more voters not turn out this time around because Hillary was a better candidate. Biden is a joke of a man, he's a joke of a family member, and he is a joke of a politician. Who in the world runs 47 years in anything and isn't respectable enough to actually have the highest position? We let it go on for too long. Too many people allowed people like him to infiltrate our government and stay there, pilfering everything and everyone, including letting their family go out, using pro quo or quid pro quo to get what they want, using government power. So you see, when they went to Ukraine and got him that job, the idea that was Biden was going to get half of it for getting him that job, for being the middleman to get him that job. Biden even admitted on tape that he was threatening them to stop lawsuits, and if they didn't get money. Now, we do not know why in the world they went after President Trump for a quid pro quo when the original quid pro quo was going on with the VP. This looks more like a high school girl's sleepover, a weird one. They're really showing themselves to do really well. Come on, man. We like to ask the question, Joe, who built the cages? Again, Trump was right when he was at the debate with you. Who built them? You? Barry? Exactly. You can go after Trump for actually doing a thing, but you involved in the creation of it. This man has very little to no popularity, and we understand why. He has the charisma of a goat. He wants to sniff everyone's hair in sight. It must be a nightmare for him now to have to wear a mask because he can't go around sniffing everybody again. Has it gotten that bad in the country that everybody has to wear a mask to cover up Joe Biden's sniffing factor? Really, it's kind of embarrassing to have this weird situation going on top of the weird situation of running to Burisma with his son. This is a pathetic showing. It is a way to get it to where people don't view it as this low turnout, but this is a terrible turnout, and everybody and their mother should know that. We like how they had Biden walk out under a certain type of music, down steps and everything. I guess it's the same thing with Hillary. They got to prove that Biden can walk on his own and he's mobile and he's younger than he looks, folks. His legs look like twigs. This guy is one Twinkie heart attack away from allowing Harris to be the president. Not only that, but the first female president. Pelosi already made laws involving the 25th Amendment for anyone who wanted to go out and do drugs while they were president. They could overthrow them. And Biden is probably on a cocktail of all kinds of things. Anyway, you folks have a good night, a good morning, a good evening, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that. Also, leave a comment down below. We like to talk with you. We like to pick your brain. And if you have any ideas for new videos, please drop a line down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you don't hit the notification bell, you're going to have a hard time getting our videos sometimes. God bless each and every one of you. See ya.